Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the 5th edition of BTB Now. I'm your host, Ray Dunn, joined by Jason Cantor, and look who's back. It's Nick Bogatis, the Yinzer. Nick, where have you been?
A much-needed vacation. I traveled all the way up to Worcester, Mass., then to Boston, Mass., then to Newport, Rhode Island. It was quite the trip. And I got to hang out with I don't even know what you call them up there. I guess just Irish.
Yeah, I mean, Irish people.
The Bostonians, if you will.
Bostonians.
Did you stop by the Tennis Hall of Fame up there?
No, I'm not going to the Tennis Hall of Fame. It's not even a real sport. I went to Fenway Park.
Did you actually?
So we got.
I mean, my hotel was like right outside it. If you open the window, you could see.
Did you go to a game there
inside the stadium? No, we didn't do any kind of tour. I was just right outside of it. So
got you.
Like I had already done a tour way back when, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I did it with JT, so I didn't really feel the need to.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went to a Boston camp.
Yeah, I'm very well traveled. I don't know if you knew that.
I did, but have you ever been to Toronto? Is the question.
No, I haven't been to Canada yet. Nor do I intend to, because I just don't appreciate the socialist republic.
All right, stick to sports, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
You got 2 weeks into the website, decided to take a vacation. We can get to that later. But you've had 2 weeks now to really
more pressing matters.
Hey, you've had quite some time to build up some opinions while you've been gone.
We refer to them as takes here.
But here's the thing: I have several takes. One of which will include canceling the Steelers season a little bit later in this broadcast. But there are more pressing matters and much more joyful matters to attend to. Today is 8/7. One of the most glorious days in history, because 8/7/8/7 was a day arguably the greatest hockey player of all time was born, and that would be Sidney Patrick Crosby. Okay, so I would just like to wish a very, very happy birthday to the 3-time Cup champ, the 2-time Conn Smythe, the 2-time Art Ross winner, the MVP.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, did you mute him too?
You muted him. Now we can't hear him.
Oh, awesome.
Well, that was pleasant.
Let's unmute him. I feel bad.
Got him. You got him.
Wait, how do I unmute him?
Jam.
Wait, I can't unmute him.
Oh, wow, that's sad.
Wait, this is actually a problem. I can't unmute him.
Oh, wow, this is really bad.
How? Okay, wait.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have the power now.
You have, yeah.
So like I was saying, he's stealing hearts. He's still winning hearts. The captain, Sidney Crosby. What a guy.
By the way, I feel like I just inadvertently screwed myself over for the future by showing you guys that you can just mute me.
Yeah.
That's gonna come around to really.
Oh, yep.
Hurt me.
So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts?
So is that all we got for Sidney Crosby?
Well, I mean, it's almost impossible to understate the greatness that he possesses.
I would have rather you have understated it.
Okay, I want to get well, I mean, you're still biased, but the other side of the spectrum. How do you guys reflect on our 30th year of Sidney Patrick Crosby?
Like personally, or as a hockey player?
As a hockey
player, because here's the thing. Don't like him.
I don't want to get into it. I don't really want to get into this debate, but I'm happy to. If Sidney Crosby was presented with a clean bill of health, I think he would be better than Lemieux.
Which, yeah. By the way, hold on.
He still finished Gretzky.
And this was Ray. You can come into this.
And also, while I'm on the subject of Gretzky, Gretzky had the privilege in his era of playing against goaltenders who had an average save percentage of about 84.
That's fair. I mean, he also, yeah. I mean, that's fair. I'm not. I'm not going to go into the Skip Bayless argument. We're not going to go into that argument in the hockey, but I don't think any of us like Sidney Crosby. I don't think that's.
I love Sidney Crosby. Are you kidding me right now?
I mean, us like normal people from the Philly area. Now, my question of your loyalty, and Ray, you can chime in on this. You were presented with one of those quote tweet things. It's so popular that like if you could give one athlete a bill of health, who would it be? As a process truster, the fact that you did not say Joel Embiid, in my opinion, is disgraceful. And not only you said Sidney Crosby, who has won you 3 Stanley Cups?
But here's the thing: if Sidney Crosby hadn't endured those concussions, do you realize like where he would be in his career? We wouldn't be discussing.
And even with those concussions, you have 3 Stanley Cups, and here we are. We haven't had one in 42 years.
I'm not complaining about not having enough. The question posed was if I could give any athlete a clean bill of health, who would I give it to? And I would give it to him. Yes, we have 3 cups right now, but maybe if he didn't have those concussions, maybe we'd be having 4 or 5 or 6 with Sidney Crosby.
You need to learn.
Can I
hold on. First of all, I want to defend Ray here because why would you give it to Joel Embiid if the Sixers weren't in a winning position anyway? The process wouldn't have been able to continue if Joel Embiid was able to contribute anything significant anyway.
They would have still been able to do the pick swap stuff.
Okay, whatever. And on the other hand, who else would I have given it to? Ben Roethlisberger? Le'Veon Bell? No.
Whatever.
Okay.
No. I think
the Penguins rank a little bit higher than me than the Sixers for me.
From a Pittsburgh perspective, I think Crosby's fair, but Bell wouldn't be a bad one either. Even though I know you and him aren't on good terms right now.
Well, that would have only helped one. That would have helped one game and maybe contributed 1 Super Bowl. Sidney Crosby having no concussions and no other injuries would have at least given us another cup, if not 2.
Do you hear him like?
And would have put him
just like
in the conversation of like the greatest of all time.
Hi, yes, I've got opinions too here. And the whole, if you could give an athlete the whole clean bill of health.
Wait, who did you pick?
Again. Sorry, Little
Me?
League's really getting me tonight.
Wait, who did you pick?
Clean bill of health.
Instead of Joel Embiid. Who?
I'm not getting into it. I don't want to go into this.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm not getting into the whole thing. That was Jason just trying to distract you from the fact that you have one of the best hockey players of all time on your team.
I want to know who he picked.
I'm not going to go on the bitter end of Jason, and I'm not going to go all the way to this man is my god that you are. I'm going to try and keep this down the middle.
I put this up today. Sidney Crosby's name literally translates to Australian Jesus. So, if you want to get into it, he is kind of God.
If that tells everyone exactly where your mentality is at, right down the middle here. One of the best hockey players of all time. And happy birthday to him.
Number 3?
I would rather see the Flyers in the cup.
You think he's fit to arguably make a historic hockey argument?
Wait. Where would you put him? Number 3?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't give you historical greatness I'm watching. When he steps out on the ice, I know he's the best player on the ice.
I think he's the 3rd best hockey player of all time. And without concussions, he would be number 2, if not number 1.
I'd like to also point out that Upper Province Little League is now up 10-5 on the Maryland team. This is incredible. This is just great.
Maryland's not that great of a state, though. I'm not going to lie.
They're representing Pennsylvania, so as Berg Bell Sports, we have to give them coverage.
Okay, I'll be rooting for the team from Jackson, though. To be honest with you.
Okay, well
Jackson's where it's at. That's where Six Flags is.
That's true.
Whatever.
Six Flags.
All right.
What's
Whatever.
funny about 6'5"?
Moving on. You alluded to Le'Veon Bell earlier. Nick, you released a bit of a hit piece at Le'Veon Bell.
Have
Yeah.
you really not been on the show since you did that?
You haven't been able to comment on it since. I want to get your on Le'Veon Bell as I watch this game and tune you.
He's dead to me. If the jersey of his I own wasn't a colorless jersey, it would have already been burned. Did you want more?
I was thinking you might get into the whole mess of an organization that they've become over the last few weeks.
Okay. Well, so I'm officially canceling the season now.
You're gonna get him. He's a big Rooney defender.
No, I think the Steelers are a great run organization. I think that they've run into a little bit of a roadblock here. First of all, our pot smoking, mixtape making, injury prone running back decides to hold out because he wants to get paid as not only the top running back but also the number 2 receiver, which I'm not sure is actually possible given the salary cap obligations of the time we live in currently. Okay, so I don't know what advanced kind of drug he's on right now that makes him think that he's going to make, I don't know, $30 million a year. I don't know exactly what he wants. The Steelers offered him a very generous contract, and I'm typically, well, in this case too, I'm in favor of the athletes making as much money as possible while they can. But the franchise tag, I think he should just sign the franchise tag, play this year, and then test out the free agent market next year. Because the franchise tag is making him more money the Steelers offered him more money than the franchise tag for a 5-year deal. And the franchise tag, I don't know the exact figure, is still making him a lot of money. So I think if he's really that adamant that he can make more, sign the 1-year deal and then go wherever they're going to pay you.
By the way, Ray's live tweeting the Little League game while you're going on this spiel.
Great. But I mean that's
I understand.
I'm genuinely pro player, regardless of whether it's my team or whether it's another team, whatever.
But you're pro reasonable player.
It's not even about reasonable. If he's not going to get the contract that he wants from the Steelers, just sign the franchise tag. I don't like. That's what I don't.
But because he
that's
doesn't.
what I don't. That's what I don't understand
if
about
he
the holdouts.
is that good, he can prove it on the field this year, and then he can get the money else. I agree.
But guys,
Jason's
especially in a league like the NFL, especially in a league like the NFL, guys want long-term security, and that's what the franchise tag doesn't give. That's what he wants. Which I don't know why he didn't take the contract, but that's why guys don't like the franchise tag.
But he was offered more money per year than the franchise tag gives for a 5-year deal. Which
again,
if he thinks,
I don't know what he's thinking, but I know that's why he's.
No, I understand the concept of a holdout. I just don't understand what purpose it's serving at this point if he's already been tagged.
I mean,
and all he has to do is sign the tender. Because if he wants to be a free agent, he has to play, I think, at least 9 games. So if he's gonna,
I remember that was a Vincent Jackson thing a while back.
That was also a Mike Wallace thing. So I'm not too happy about that.
Deja vu.
So here's the thing: he's gonna tear his MCL anyway, so he's gonna miss at least 6 games. So he pretty much has to play starting week 1 anyway. So why not get the practice in? Like if you're going to prove yourself this year, like why not get the reps in? I don't get it. And this isn't This isn't being me rah like pro organization here. I just don't get it. But
okay, conspiracy theory. Do guys get drug tested while they're holding out?
If they're still like NFL players, yes.
Because if they can because like a lot of times I feel like the drug tests are orchestrated at the team facility. And if he's not at the team facility, then he can't get drug tested. So my theory, him and the Steelers are in slight cahoots here. They're leaking all this stuff to make it look like it's a legitimate
contract
intense holdout. Well, in reality, they're just trying to push back the timeline
From what I understand,
whatever marijuana is in his THC, whatever is in his system to get out, and then he'd pass a drug test.
From what I understand, you have to be a moron to
That's probably one of the most
not pass a
intelligent
drug
things
test.
Oh.
You have to be a moron not to pass a drug test in the NFL. Like, you know when it's coming. Like, they're pretty transparent about it. But that I'm not.
It hasn't stopped him before.
So I would be able to handle Steelers camp if it was just Le'Veon Bell, but it's not. Martavis Bryant was set to be reinstated by the league, and then he got off the bus from training camp into, I guess, practice before preseason. He came off the bus with his pads, and then GM Kevin Colbert came over and took them away. So apparently he's not reinstated, which I could, like, sit here and scream at Roger Goodell. I've done it before. I just don't have the energy to do so.
Do it again.
If we're losing our biggest offensive threat, our second wide receiver, Marcus Wheaton's in Chicago, so we don't even have a number 2 receiver. If Sammy Coates has to be
Smith.
If Sammy Coates has to be the number 2 receiver, the man doesn't have hands. Like, they're stubs.
Juju Smith.
I'm okay with him, but he should be like a 3rd or 4th option, not the number 2 receiver.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's Juju Smith-Schuster, not Schuster-Smith.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't get it, but I'm ready to cancel the season. That's the thing, because as much as I would like them to tank and get Sam Darnold, I just spent the past 4 months talking myself into Joshua Dobbs being the future. So I'm a little bit conflicted. What like skill position players are coming out of the draft?
Saquon Barkley. You could get another running back.
No, we have James Conner's the future. That's what I'm thinking. Trade Le'Veon Bell. I don't care. Honestly, I think James Conner is going to be a great running back.
So wait, here's my question because
now, but I think he's going to be great. I'm down with trading Le'Veon Bell. Just get something for him. Don't let him walk.
Do you think that they drafted James Conner knowing that this was probably going to happen? Because I feel like you don't spend a 3rd-round pick on a running back like that when you have Le'Veon Bell.
I was under the impression they were going for Willie Parker. Okay. I was under the impression they were going for a Willie Parker, Jerome Bettis type thing, or like a Veron Haynes type situation going on. But like he would be like a power back, a 3rd down back, and then I don't know. I was expecting Le'Veon Bell to leave at some point. I just wasn't expecting it this quickly. But hey, I'm okay with James Conner starting this year. If that's what it is. I'm just very sad, to tell you the truth. But here's the thing. The Steelers could be awful this year. Like awful by Steelers terms, so like we're talking 7-9, 7-9. They could still win the division. The
Quick question.
The Bengals aren't going to do anything. Joe Flacco sucks. Even what's his name was on ESPN today saying Joe Flacco's like Joe Flacco. Who am I talking? Connor McFootball. Keon Fahey. He was saying that Joe Flacco throws short of the sticks more.
You have to read the article we wrote comparing him and Colin.
Can I talk?
Kaepernick. Okay.
Because your jaw's about to drop. Joe Flacco throws short of the sticks more often than Alex Smith.
Now,
What?
You want to know why my jaw didn't drop right there?
Why?
It's all in the article. He wrote a fantastic article comparing Colin Kaepernick and Joe Flacco, which I can't stand the Kaepernick issue, but it destroyed Joe Flacco, and it was absolutely hysterical.
I hate Joe Flacco. But speaking of Colin Kaepernick, I'm not going to get into Colin Kaepernick, but I'm going to talk about the man who is better and replace the idea of Colin Kaepernick. That would be my boy,
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. Hell yeah. I love this man. Do you hear what he said today? He said,
he doesn't have to be in great cardiovascular shape.
This man, he's a madman.
The way he said it too, it was like
I'm
it with,
actually crying right now. He's such a madman. The Dolphins are winning the AFC East. I don't care what anyone. Here's the thing. I would say the Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl, but I'm rooting for the Steelers. So like, I'm not really in a position where I can say that. But the Dolphins.
If you're saying the Steelers are going to go 7-9, then I think you can start rooting for another team to win a Super Bowl. Like that's what I was doing with the Raiders and the Eagles last year. Just Derek Carr happened to break his ankle.
Because like the Dolphins winning the division would be a Super Bowl, basically.
True.
So the Dolphins are winning the division. Jay Cutler.
People actually forget that they won that division the year Brady got hurt.
No, they didn't.
Apparently people forget it because you did.
Only 2 quarterbacks have won the AFC East since 2000, and it's been Chad Pennington and Tom Brady.
Chad Pennington was on the Dolphins at one point.
Okay. There you go. I pointed this out. Didn't get much traction on Twitter. But Jay Cutler's name literally translates to bird slayer. And that's about half the league right there. So, all the birds. The Ravens, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Eagles, the Cardinals.
Wait, did I not favorite that? Because I think I saw that and I thought it was funny.
But like you favoring it doesn't count as much.
I don't count. Yeah. Understood.
I thought that was a good point. And here's the thing.
Ray, what do you think about that?
Jay Cutler's afraid of nothing. So
okay, getting to the Jay Cutler thing.
2 games against Tom Brady isn't going to face this guy because he has 0 emotions, and that includes fear and inadequacy.
Well, like Brady, act like Cutler.
See, I don't know where that phrase came from because I don't think that's a thing.
I think that was just randomly started.
But here's the thing, like, although I think that's great, I would much prefer to just ball like Cutler and act like Cutler, because like the whole minimum effort, like average success, and like minimal caring. That's what I want to live by, and like maximum money. That's kind of how I want to live my life. Like the Jeff Fisher, like being hardly adequate at your job, but just making millions of dollars and not caring. I think.
So you're saying Jay Cutler is a Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks?
I think that's better than like giving it your all and like good job.
So you're saying Jay Cutler is a Jeff Fisher of quarterbacks?
See, here's the thing. I don't think Jeff Fisher's a good coach. I think Jeff Fisher's a great role model and like life coach, but I don't think he's good at being a football coach. I think Jay Cutler's a good quarterback.
Define good. Like top 15?
Yeah, top 10.
I don't know if
top
you're serious
5.
or not. Okay.
Okay, he's joking.
See, like, that's my problem, because like sometimes you will say something that's like slightly like bold, and I don't know when to start taking it as sarcasm.
Okay, wait. He might be top 10 though.
I'm not gonna spend the time looking at every team's, but I bet you there's better. Off the top of my head.
He might actually be the 4th best quarterback. Oh no, I forgot Aaron Rodgers. No, he's the 5th best quarterback in the league.
Brady, Breeze, Newton, Rodgers.
Newton.
You're taking Jay Cutler over Cam Newton.
Yes.
Oh no, if he doesn't respect Cam Newton, forget it. We're never gonna get anywhere in this debate.
Cam Newton could learn a lot from Jay Cutler about being respectful and handling losses with grace.
Okay,
but I'm serious.
Brady,
I think Jay Cutler.
Brady, Roethlisberger. Well, I don't care what you say. I'll take. I know Ray's with me. I'm taking Mariota over Cutler.
Okay, I will genuinely. I'm telling you right now, though. I would genuinely take Cutler over Cam Newton. And 2, I genuinely believe Cutler will win this division if he plays the entire season.
You think they'll beat the Patriots?
Yes, I think genuinely. I think they'll split with the Patriots and win the division.
That's bold.
That's my middle name.
Well, this is the same guy that gave the Jaguars the AFC South last year, so
that's me.
Too.
Yeah, I did.
You've always been a big Jaguars guy. Would
I
Jay Cutler or Blake Bortles?
Well, here's the thing. I fell in love with Blake Bortles, like when he got drafted, and because I'm a huge proponent of like the small school quarterback thing. And he's just kind of let me down.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you go from UCF to the Jaguars, that's like the size of the fan bases is kind of similar.
Nothing to do with the fan base. I think
Jay Cutler's it's a joke
similar,
about how the Jaguars are a small team. Thanks for that.
Jay Cutler's a similar product because Vanderbilt, even though they're in the SEC, they're not like a traditional football power. So I think he's like one of my go-to defenses of my theory. Well, Ben Roethlisberger, obviously, but yeah, I think the Dolphins split with the Patriots and win the division. They'll sweep the Bills. Well, hold it. Here's
Little League Baseball.
If you split with the Patriots, that's 5 wins right there, automatically. So they really only need to win.
I don't think they beat the Bills twice.
And then all they have to do is win. They won't beat the Bills twice. Are you kidding me? Who's the Bills quarterback?
Ty God.
Oh, I thought there were murmurs of him being benched.
They've been doing that for a year and a half.
Okay.
Welcome to Burke Bills.
Why there are murmurs of him being benched? Huh? Do you know why there are murmurs of him being benched? Because their GM likes EJ Manuel. So
well,
no. So
Florida. He went to Florida State that one time.
He did.
He drafted in
him
first round.
Him and Christian Ponder. What a school for quarterbacks.
Well, no. This is my thing. Like big school quarterbacks don't work.
I mean, Andrew Luck went to Stanford.
Stanford's
Cam Newton went to Auburn.
And Cam Newton's not as good as Jay Cutler. What's your point?
Where'd Jay Cutler go?
Vanderbilt. The Commodores.
See, like your entire argument is based off using an SEC school small. Stanton hit a homer off Scherzer.
Okay. I'll change it. Non-traditional football power.
Can we?
Oh yeah. So Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I was under the impression the Pirates were in first in the NL Central. Turns out they're in fourth, and they're 4.5 games back. So, congrats to the Cubs for leading the division and probably winning it. But yeah. Oh, also, you guys should probably give a tribute to the Phillies guy, Dutch. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't know who he was, but he's friends with Lenny Dykstra.
That's fair.
Any friend of Lenny Dykstra. Any friend of Lenny Dykstra is a friend of mine.
You're not a baseball guy. You're not a Philly guy, so it makes sense that you wouldn't know.
He was. I would tell him. He was a catcher. He was a catcher and kind of like the locker room leader. Shockingly, Lenny Dykstra was not the leader of that locker room. The catcher and the leader of the locker room on the '93 Phillies. That they were in last in '92. They were in last about every other year they played, but they won the NL in '93. And
it was like not expected to happen.
But did they win the World
Series? Deal with that.
No. Do you know the Joe Carter walk-off home run?
Oh, that's on the Drake album.
Yeah, the Drake album, literally.
We go back to back.
All right, let's
Let's. Guys, I figured out how to put together a video to put on the Twitter today, in case you guys were wondering.
I did see that.
So I spent my afternoons. Figured no better way to tribute.
But yeah, and Ray, I don't know about you because he did a while ago, but there were a couple of years like when the Phillies were good where I grew up watching him do post-game live. So it was.
He did. He had a little bit of string of like problems. But he went a little crazy there for a little while, but.
Oh, well, yeah, because he said alien. He was like he saw a UFO.
Yeah, delve into that.
But no, he was good at what he was doing. I remember your brother sent me the video that CNN posted The CSN posted.
Okay, easier.
CSN posted today with
Sports.
Ricky Pitalico, Michael Barkan, and Dalton reacting to the Jimmy Rollins walk-off double in the 09 NLCS, which brings back so many memories for me.
He was good on post.
The golden era Phillies, the last golden era that we've seen. We're 8 years past, and still we haven't seen anything as good. And just like that was, I feel like from obviously like I don't know that much about him as a player, but like from how everyone describes him as like a calm, emotional leader. That video itself is Ricky Pitalico and Michael Barkan going crazy, and Dalton's just standing there looking at his monitor amazed, and then he just says "wow" at the end of the video.
A little bit, but yeah, I think I was gonna do like a little write up about him and put it up on the website, but I felt like what could I possibly say about someone?
Yeah,
who's the highlight of his career
worth.
Long before I was born. So I think speaking of his career, speaking of what he meant to the Phillies, he was a leader on fighting teams in the history of the city because you didn't really expect it. The people watching didn't really expect or believe what they were seeing. And he was the leader of that team. So I think more I knew him as the guy on Post Game Live and the guy that my dad cheered every time that he was on TV. So that's my memories of Dutch. Unfortunate they lost him so soon. Lenny Dykstra sounded like he was going to cry on all the different recordings we had of it, which was so unfortunate. I felt bad.
Yeah, they were apparently. I didn't get a chance to see it today, but apparently, Dutch wrote a letter to Dykstra like when he was getting incarcerated, and he read that today, and that was like the first time he had done that. I didn't get a chance to see it, but apparently it was like touching.
It was good. I watched it. It was good. Yeah, it was all really all of a sudden. I think Lenny Dykstra said like 4 days ago. It was really recent where he said, yeah, Dalton's not doing well. He may be on his last days. And then like that.
Because there was an ABC report like 2 weeks ago, I think. Because I saw it driving to a Phillies game. And then last week Lenny Dykstra went on a podcast. I don't know a podcast, but he went on some kind of show, and he read like something that like he had prepared, and he was saying that like how like it was a miracle that he had gotten this far. So it sucks, but like it was apparently expected because he's been battling cancer for almost 5 years, I think.
I think it was 4 full years and almost 5, yeah. And then that disease typically takes someone in 3 years.
Yeah.
So it was quite the fight. It was 7 years to the day where he was inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame.
Really?
August 6, 2010. Yesterday, August 6th, 2017. So
crazy.
Rest in peace, Dutch. We can get into a little bit about Phillies baseball because you have the whole Rhys Hoskins and Tommy Joseph deal.
Well, wait, can I quickly get back to what Nick was saying before, talking about how like thinking the Pirates were in first? I love that for the last 2 weeks you've actually been following baseball, like somewhat, and yet you're still not.
Yeah.
I thought I had to
should
point
we
that
introduce our little competition that'll be coming soon?
With the players or DraftKings?
With the players.
I mean, sure.
All right, so basically, about a month and a half ago.
See, I'm gonna struggle in this if we can't do repeats because I'm gonna forget who's gonna.
No. We'll be starting with a clean slate.
Okay.
So about a month and a half ago, Cantor accused me of not following baseball, and
I was right.
Well, he's half right because I don't really know much about baseball today, but I can tell you all about baseball in 2005. So I just started rattling off these names of obscure players that played in 2005, and I guess a few years before and after. And we just have been going back and forth for pretty much every day for the past month and a half. So we're finally going to do a live show of us of like a little competition. I guess Ray will be the judge or moderator
Yeah,
or
sure.
whatever.
Why not? I don't have anything to do.
This will be coming soon to Berg to Bell, and I guess we'll just be rattling off obscure players and see who can name the most. Cantor, you want to do a little preview for the audience?
Wow, you're putting me. All right. Well, off the top of my head, I'm just gonna Scott Air,
Rocco Baldelli.
Andy Sonnenstein. He was on the '08 Rays. I don't know if he was the actual pitcher that gave up the home run to Joe Blanton, but he started that game.
Okay. Scott Rowland.
Oh, Placido Polanco.
David Eckstein.
Nick Punto.
Reggie Sanders.
So wait a second.
Jerry Harrison
How is
Jr.
this ever going to end?
Ooh, Scott Hairston.
Yeah, how's this ever going to end?
Well, we'll be given a
You're the
time
moderator.
limit. Like I'm struggling right now, so we'll be given. Well, ideally we'll have like
This is just a
20
preview.
minutes before we start to like store a bunch of players in the back of our mind. We'll be cut off from technology at a certain point. We'll have like 20 minutes before to like store a bunch of players in the back of our mind, and then I don't know, we'll have like a certain amount of time like between the other person saying it for when we have to say something, or else we get like a strike, I guess, and then
Yeah.
3 strikes you're out. We'll figure it out.
Like baseball.
Just do a specific season. Like, make you really focus in.
Oh, do it 2005 because that's my wheelhouse.
It's my wheelhouse.
You could just go up and down the opening day lineups.
That
25-man rosters.
no, that was
40
Jeff Geary was still in the Phillies.
Make it interesting. Anyways, so
I was
that's
on a
coming
tear.
soon.
I was on a tear with 05 Orioles the other night because another friend of ours, Eli, who's from Baltimore, said challenged me to a little friendly match of 05 Orioles. And
Did he actually?
Yes, and he didn't know that the starting rotation consisted of Eric Bedard, Bruce Chen, and Sidney Ponson. And he tried to tell me that Sidney Ponson and Eric Bedard weren't on the 2005 Orioles. And I told him, you do not challenge me on Sidney Ponson knowledge because I got everyone beat there.
Poor Eric Bedard. He was like a solid pitcher, and all he's remembered for is being traded for Adam Jones.
Eric Bedard was traded for Adam Jones?
Yep.
When?
Whenever the Orioles, I'm pretty sure whenever the Orioles traded for him, like later on in his career.
With what team?
He was on the Mariners, and then he got traded to the Orioles. I'm pretty sure.
See, I guess that year is about my cutoff.
Yeah, wait. I'm fairly certain, and it was like the Orioles made out like banquets. That was the only successful trade the Orioles have ever made, and it was that one.
Raul Ibanez.
Tadahito Iguchi.
BJ Surhoff.
So Taguchi.
Derek Lee.
Oh, Carlos Lee.
Todd Hollinsworth.
Carlos Zambrano.
Burke Badenhop.
Oh, that's a good one. Carlos Marmol.
Oh, there are some other good Cubs middle relievers. Or he was our closer.
Oh, I got a good one. I got
You
a good
say
one
because I'm
loaded.
tapping out.
Kyle Farnsworth.
Oh, Jason Isringhausen.
Oh, come on. I just won. I got 2 in a row.
Oh, you won. I just had to
I
throw
won
in
with Kyle Farnsworth. Kyle Farnsworth's the walk-off.
You won with Kyle Farnsworth. I had to. Jason Isringhausen. I've used him like 3 times. You
Okay,
can't.
fantastic work. Both of you. Good job.
That's a preview.
Nick, I'm going to circle all the way back to the Steelers because I wanted to get your opinion on the Mike Tomlin extension.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to even mention that. How the hell does Mike Tomlin get an extension and Le'Veon Bell can't get a contract? Mike Tomlin is the most overrated coach in the entire – no, not even the entire NFL. The entire sport – no. The entire country – no, the world. Mike Tomlin's the most overrated coach in every sport in the world. the universe.
You can't argue with that.
He employs Todd Haley to run his offense. The only thing Mike Tomlin does is he's a splash at the press conference. He doesn't have anything of substance. He just says splash.
Now, here's my question. Here's my question for you.
And
Is he?
Why did we not keep Bruce Arians?
Didn't they just like flat out fire him?
They like asked him to step down when he was offensive coordinator under I think it was under Tomlin.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. It should be switched.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Tomlin's a D coordinator.
But if Antonio Brown if Antonio Brown doesn't get in the end zone on that play on Christmas, do people start to sour on Tomlin, or is that just like?
I would be willing to sacrifice one Steelers season, preferably with this one, if it meant Mike Tomlin got fired. But the way I see it right now,
would you have been fine if that play where I don't think it was fourth down, but it was like Steelers had no timeouts. There were 5 seconds left, and they went.
No, because I
for
think
a touchdown and got it.
No, because I think if Le'Veon Bell doesn't get hurt in the playoffs, I think the Steelers win the Super Bowl. If at the very least they make it to the Super Bowl, they beat the Patriots and make it to the Super Bowl, if not win the Super Bowl. So I'm not willing to sacrifice that, because making the playoffs, if Le'Veon Bell doesn't get hurt, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem I have is right now. I can tell you, I'll go 5-11 and Mike Tomlin gets fired. That's a transaction I'm willing to make, but not. But this might be Ben's last year, so I'm not really ready to do it this year.
Every year might be Ben's last year.
Yeah, but like I'd rather just
see. Well,
I want him.
I think kind of similar. I think kind of similar to Reed McNabb. I think once they lose Ben, and Tomlin doesn't have that steady quarterback, then he may start to, I don't know, maybe get found out. I
just feel like Ben deserves another Super Bowl just because he doesn't really get credit for the first two.
Which they had a very good defense.
I concur.
Not the second one.
I concur with Jason on Mike Tomlin falling apart.
Mike Tomlin really sucks as a head coach. I'm not going to lie.
Reed is a better coach than Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
I mean, I'm all for the 2-point conversions and whatnot. But other than that, he kind of sucks. Just the general play calling, the going for it on fourth down when it's just totally not necessary. The incompetence in terms of choosing when to kick field goals. Even though Boswell has this incredible range, you always go for it on fourth down. You never trust the kicker. I just don't get it. Here's my perfect coaching
Doug
trio.
Peterson throwing a swing pass 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 5 from like the 39-yard line.
See, but your mistake is expecting the Eagles to be competitive.
No, they were winning that game. They were up 10 points. That game, that first Cowboys game probably got me the angriest of any game since I don't even know. That game got me so angry. They were up. He throws that swing pass, gets him out of field goal range, calls a timeout to probably, I don't know, just give himself time.
So like I was saying, my ideal coaching trio would be Jack Del Rio, head coach, Bruce Arians, offensive coordinator, and then Rex Ryan, defensive coordinator. I think that trio wins a Super Bowl 10 times out of 10.
Doug Peterson's the worst.
Okay, Doug Peterson.
Okay.
You didn't let me finish.
I'm not going to let you finish.
The Eagles win the NFC East if they win.
I'm the Tony Reale here, not you.
The Eagles win the NFC East if they win that game. I'm done now.
Okay.
I'm done.
You're done. Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm just letting I'm just gonna let you guys, bash each other and just see what happens. I'll be the one that survives.
How's going for you, Ray?
Did you see me stand up and put the hat in front of the screen?
Yeah, but you were doing that throughout the whole entire game.
Here. We all from Oaks.
Oh, I meant to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on Allen Iverson? Because I'm genuinely concerned about like his well-being.
I think we've all been
you didn't watch your show last week.
Yeah, I know. I was relaxing in New England.
I think we're all genuinely concerned for Allen Iverson's well-being.
Because nobody just goes out to a liquor store and goes to a casino in like a non-touristy destination. People at like 3 o'clock. No one does that.
Hey man, I don't know what to tell you.
Also, I love the move by Ice Cube suspending him for the game. Where was the game? In like Kansas?
I couldn't tell you. You want to know why?
Is he making him travel with the league though?
I don't know. Why is Ice Cube the commissioner?
Oh yeah, because Ice Cube's gonna really force AI to do something.
Yeah.
We all saw how much AI did what Ice Cube told him to do last week. Stop it. Stop it. Stop with this whole Big Three nonsense. We're not getting back into this. We're not going to start talking. I'm back now. The Little League game is over. I'm back now.
Wait, what happened? Did you win?
They did win.
So they're regional champions? Or do they still have to lose to New Jersey?
They still got a little bit ways to go. Them and New Jersey, only 2-2-0 teams.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, Jackson's going to win because they have Six Flags on their side.
We can have that fight at another time. 3 right now, because here we are again. We're wasting time on the show talking about the Big Three.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you where they're playing this week, where the games were this week, and I quite frankly don't care where they're playing because the product is bad.
I haven't watched a game of this. This is the most ridiculous concept I've heard since the Globetrotters.
Thank you. I would throw this hat, but they just won. Thank you.
I can't actually watch it.
I'm not gonna do what I did last week and take the middle argument because that wasn't a good spot to be in last week. And this week I'm just gonna
It's just a ridiculous concept.
The middle argument. The concept itself isn't bad. We're not going to start this, but
no, we're not going to.
The concept itself is not bad.
It is bad.
No, the concept good. We get to see guys come back, but after I see them once, who cares?
Yeah, well, exactly. The point. I don't. They.
Thank
We're
you.
doing this.
There is no attachment.
It's so fun.
Players.
You think you're Tony Reality here, don't you?
I am Tony Reality. I wish it was Ash Wednesday so I could really show how I'm Tony Reality. It's really
yeah. Two can play.
All right.
To be fair, I think I'm Woody Hayes.
And I'll be Jay Mariotti.
No, you are not Jay Mariotti. That makes Ray, what's his name? Bill Plaschke. Or do you want to be Kevin Blackistone?
Wait, who's Pablo Torre?
No one. No one is Pablo Torre, thank God. I can't stand Pablo Torre.
Do you not like him?
No, Pablo Torre and Bomani Jones are two of the most annoying people at ESPN.
Because of their politics?
Not because of their politics. Well, let me speak. Not because of their politics. Because of their need to inject politics into sports.
That's their politics.
No, not because of their politics specifically. Because of their desire to talk about politics. When I just want to, I just want to listen to sports takes. Stick to sports, Pablo Torre and Bomani Jones.
Why can't I just mute these people?
You did.
Jason didn't even know.
How did I get muted?
I'm Tony Reale, not you.
Get into it. We're not.
By the
We're
way,
not going
Pablo
into the.
Torre is a big process truster.
Okay,
So.
I just don't like him. It's just me. And he uses too many big words. I don't like that.
We're moving on.
He went to Harvard.
Penguins. We got the Pirates, who are not in first place. They're in fourth place, in case you didn't know.
Number 4 in the standings, number 1 in our hearts.
Well, and we didn't really touch on the Tommy Joseph situation. I don't know if Jason's going to wake up and want to do that.
I think he should be sent back to the bullpen. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Oh, let's get to whatever else we're gonna get to because that's like really recent, so we can end with that.
Okay, well, I just want to talk about Carson Wentz in practice. Lord, the practice videos of Carson Wentz.
Are we believing in Nelson Aguilar?
No, you idiot.
I am not putting my full
believe in Nelson Aguilar.
There are a lot of people who have been at camp who are changing their opinions of Nelson Aguilar. That's good for them during the regular season.
Wait, can I mini rant on him for a sec? Like 15 seconds, then you can do whatever.
Yeah,
Rick Pitino of rants.
You got him. That was good. I didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I. Neither did Rick Pitino.
Okay, that was forced. You had something going there.
But anyway, Aguilar, I have tears in my eyes. The problem.
Me too.
What bugs me about everyone like suddenly changing their opinion on Aguilar. Stop laughing. Is that the talent is not like as much as people want to get mad about him and say like he's a scrub, you have to cut him. The talent is obviously there if he's getting open enough, and frequently enough to have all these blatantly obvious and terrible drops.
Yeah.
He's good at like the aspects about not act like there's a lot of aspects about being a wide receiver that don't include the receiving part, and he's pretty good at those.
I think he's
I think
talented. I think
people are just seeing that again in training camp.
I cut you off.
I think people are just seeing like there's other aspects besides being a wide receiver. Like besides being a receiver, there's other aspects of being a wide receiver. It's never been like deniable that he's good at those. He's just it's easier to like. It's less of a mental challenge to catch a pass in training camp practice in front of a bunch of media members than it is to do it in a regular season game, and that's pretty much it. You talk about Wentz.
I think now I want to touch on the Aguilar thing because you said it, and now I'm gonna give my opinion on it. I agree with you that the talent's there. Like, how is this any different? Like, if he went to a smaller school. Like, maybe I understand the jump to professional is like, oh, but he's a big-time school guy. 12 guy. I'm going to ignore that. It doesn't make any sense why all of a sudden he gets here and the nerves get to him. It doesn't make sense to me.
As much as it sucks, I feel like he's in top picks, especially like in a town like Philly, a lot of times they just don't deal with it well. Like it sucks. Because like it really puts the Eagles in a terrible situation, but he seems like a guy that would eventually, when he does move on from the Eagles, he seems like a guy that would really thrive. Actually, mark my words, when he's on another team, he will be on my fantasy team. That's a guarantee.
When the Eagles cut him and he goes and plays for New England and has 15 touchdowns in a season, we can come on this show and talk about what happened.
Yeah. But that will 1,000% happen. right? Like, there's no doubt that's going to happen.
1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
To New England. Not here, but it'll happen when he goes to New England. So,
yes.
Hats off to Jimmy Garoppolo in the future. The Jimmy Garoppolo-Nelson Aguilar connection is going to be deadly.
Wait, where's Jimmy Garoppolo going?
New England.
Nowhere.
When Nelson Aguilar plays for the Patriots.
It's a shame Jay Cutler's going to be controlling the division, but whatever.
It's a one-year deal. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Okay.
I don't think anyone's handing Jay Cutler a long-term extension.
I've been spending all day trying to track down a Jay Cutler Vanderbilt jersey for sale online, and I haven't been able to find one yet.
Hold up. Next year is the year that Tannehill takes the next step. So,
Dude,
prepare yourselves.
Matt Moore is better than Ryan Tannehill. I don't understand what the issue is.
Ryan Tannehill is going to make the step to elite this year.
It was
just a matter of the injury.
The only reason the Dolphins didn't sign Colin Kaepernick, well, aside from Jay Cutler just being better, was because he wore that Fidel Castro shirt. But I'm not going to talk.
That's true. I think
it's not just that he wore it, is that he adamantly defended it a Cuban exile.
I think the fact that he's not on a sign by now is crazy, but he would not be a good fit in Miami for many reasons, that being one of them.
Yeah.
Well, the whole Gase Cutler thing, I didn't think there was a shot we were getting Kaepernick out of this. I didn't think Cutler was going to happen, but I didn't.
You don't know me at all. Then have you seen my Twitter over the past week?
Well, okay. Listen,
the Kaepernick thing.
There's a difference between Adam Schefter tweeting out Jay Cutler and Dolphins have mutual interest, and you quoting some tweet about down and putting in all caps like Cutler time or something to that effect.
No, I was tweeting GIFs. I was tweeting GIFs 3 days before he was signed, proclaiming him to be the king of the AFC East.
That's all well and great.
I broke that story.
After tweeting the same GIFs that you did, then I'll start to believe that Cutler was actually going to Miami.
I broke that story before Schefter did.
You had the story first.
I did.
Get Schefter to credit you on that one. We spent too much time on this show talking about Jay Cutler.
No, we didn't spend enough time talking about Jay Cutler.
By the way, just one quick Kaepernick note. Do you remember, Bogas, you probably remember this from the quarterback conversations. I think it was 3 or 4 off seasons ago when Kaepernick had the picture of him in the Dolphins hat on social media.
Yes, I do remember that.
That came full circle, or it almost did.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I like the way you think. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not often.
Someone posted it. Someone just posted that. I think it was Dave Damashek. He just posted that picture after Tannehill got hurt, and everyone immediately got it.
Gotcha.
By the way, genius right here. How can he take the next step after an injury? It's a vicious career cycle right here.
The fact that Ryan Tannehill has actually made money in the NFL is one of the greatest heists that has ever been completed in human history.
Have you ever seen Charlie Whitehurst's career earnings?
Brock Osweiler got $72 million.
Wait, hold on. I feel like I just took a personal shot at him.
You mean Clipboard Jesus? That man is one of the greatest backups to ever live, besides behind Chaz Batch.
I prefer to refer to him as Check Down Charlie.
That is just plain disrespectful. Disgraceful, even.
Do we have anything else?
Okay. I have nothing to say to you.
I was going to get to Carson Wentz.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about Carson Wentz. Let's let them do that.
Brandon Webb.
Practice videos. It is just practice. I understand. What a difference an offseason makes.
You're a clown.
They're still going to go like 8-8, miss the playoffs. and everyone will count as a disappointment. But it's looking nice for Carson Wentz. As for the cornerbacks, they can't cover anyone. Jason Peters out to wide receiver, and I'm convinced he would be able to get separation against some of these cornerbacks. That's how bad it looks.
Yeah, that's
It is
another
a
problem with the Nelson
horrible-
Aguilar hype, that he's going up against the Eagles' corners.
Corners easily are low second team, high third team on a playoff team.
That's fair.
Scott Iyer.
Scott Air, I said him.
Oh, you did?
That Sidney Jones comes back healthy. Aside from that,
Oh,
the
you
Eagles
just saw
have-
him because he came up on your timeline.
So today's his 08
absolutely
Phillies anniversary.
nothing
Yeah, I know.
Ray, what?
at the corner.
No, yeah, the cornerbacks are garbage.
I had to get out there. I had to get out there that Carson Wentz looks nicer. The mechanics, all that stuff looks a little bit cleaner, sharper. Nelson Aguilar, we talked about.
Yep.
Talent's there. I'm still not buying it. And like I said, Jason Peters could get separation against these cornerbacks. I think that's going to become my go-to thing every time one of them gets toasted. I can assure you that I'm targeting Des Bryant, Odell Beckham, any NFC East wide receiver, I will draft them in fantasy. And I typically don't draft Cowboys because, yes, I am that biased.
Jay Cutler's going to be a steal in the.
So wait,
15th
here's a
round.
question: what are you gonna? I hate to cross over quickly. Number 2 pick in your fantasy draft, David Johnson will not be available for you if this Le'Veon Bell holdout continues. Will you pick him? Will you pick Le'Veon Bell?
You take David Johnson over Le'Veon Bell?
I have no assurance that Le'Veon Bell's going to play this season. So
Okay,
yes.
but I think there's plenty of talent over David Johnson at number 1.
No, there's not. I'll take him over Zeke with the Zeke suspension thing.
Is Chris Johnson still in the league?
What?
Is Chris Johnson still in the league?
Chris
Why?
Johnson was garbage last year.
What about Steven Jackson? Why don't you just take Rodgers number 1?
Anyway,
I'm pulling up the projections right now.
Because Zeke's probably going to be suspended. Le'Veon
Right
Bell
now-
is going to hold out, be suspended, and then tear his MCL. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you pick?
anyway, can we get in the?
I
Can we
feel
quickly touch on the
I
Phillies
have to
before
say,
we
I think
finish?
David Johnson's going to suck this year, though.
Do you? I disagree.
I have a feeling.
Okay, then I'm screwed.
I was just thinking that, but I didn't want to do it. Okay, put your Xbox controller down.
Ray, Phillies.
I know, I'm pulling up ESPN projections here for you so you can
Okay.
You have a computer to
wow.
do that with.
yeah, the computer's currently broadcasting YouTube blabbing off.
Fair.
Jason.
So, anyway, the Phillies, I guess, has anything significant happened besides the Joseph and Hoskins thing?
No.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes. What are you saying? Cameron Perkins, we had a brief moment where we thought we lost,
This is major. This is big time.
We thought we had a brief moment where we thought we lost our beloved dabbing son. But he was
What's wrong
given
with
back
you?
to us. Did you saw this video of him, right?
What?
Did you not see the video of Cam Perkins dabbing after the
I
Phillies
don't
took
know
the
who
lead?
Cam Perkins is.
Did you not see my Snapchat story?
Oh, Jason.
No.
Anyway,
I don't
So-
have this weird obsession with people dabbing like you do.
Thank you.
no.
Mute him again.
Hold on,
Mute him
hold on.
again.
Wait, time out.
Mute him.
Time out. The Phillies account tweets it the Phillies account tweets that it gets several hundred retweets. MLB account does it, it gets several hundred retweets. Cam Perkins stabbing is a thing, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and see Cam Perkins' name be besmirched. Maybe about his baseball playing abilities, not because of his dabbing.
Wait, what position does he play? Third base?
Outfield. He's like their fifth outfielder.
There's only 3 outfielders.
Exactly.
He's their fifth. He's the backup to the backup.
So he's like the Ruben Sierra of the 2017 Phillies.
Sure. Yeah. Because he did get optioned because he got replaced. He literally got replaced by Hyun-Soo Kim, and then Aaron Altair got.
Fuku.
And then Aaron Altair.
I think we've done enough.
True. Anyway, so the Phillies today, I don't even think they announced it to just the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs put out their lineup that Rhys Hoskins was in left field, and I was like in the midst of writing about this whole Joseph Hoskins thing anyway, because the whole situation really sucks. Because Tommy Joseph is a productive major leaguer, but he's nothing more than that, and Rhys Hoskins has the bat to be a legitimate like middle lineup stud, and he should be in the majors right now. But it sucks that it's a situation where Tommy Joseph is probably going to get screwed over. And I just think the Phillies are trying a little bit too hard.
First base anyway?
Yeah, so does Hoskins, though.
Oh, okay.
And, like, Hoskins is going to be better than Joseph. Okay. But, so Rhys Hoskins, who, like, every scouting report on him from everyone who evaluates prospects is he's, like, average to below average first baseman defensively. His glove will only play at first base, but his bat, he can be like a middle of the lineup stud bat. And they're trying to put him in left field, and it's not going to work. So, I mean, it sucks. I also think sometimes that can mess with the guy's like approach at the plate when like the Phillies are essentially telling him, if you can play left field, you're going to be in the majors. If not, good luck, which sucks.
Yeah.
But it sucks for everyone involved because the fans want to see Hoskins. Hoskins obviously wants to be up, but it sucks that Joseph's probably getting. Even if he doesn't get the raw end of the deal, he spends all, and I wrote about this, he spends all of last year in Ryan Howard's shadow. And really, I think Ray still hates him because he's not Ryan Howard.
Not Ryan Howard.
And now the second he gets out of Ryan Howard's shadow, he's in Rhys Hoskins' shadow. So
Hoskins either. What are we doing here?
I also think, and I wrote this too. And I didn't even realize this until I wrote it. Full like life comes at you fast 180. Ray, did you see this when you were editing it with the Hunter Pence thing?
I read it. I read what I edit.
Well, I mean, you didn't read my Embiid thing, so do you remember?
No,
you remember you posted it?
I did read that. I just glossed over the fact. My brain, when there's 2 words, your brain typically forgets about it. I forgot about it.
Uh-huh.
I read it. I read all the stuff that goes up on the site.
I know, but I'm just like you put it up, and then I looked at it, and then immediately I found like a sentence that I wrote that just didn't make any sense, and neither of us picked it up.
Yeah, well, sometimes you lose some.
Yeah, so I'm saying sometimes you may gloss over something. Regardless, anyway. Not to. You're a great editor. I'm just saying you glossed over that one thing, so you may have glossed over the Phillies thing too. But 5 years ago, the Phillies, in search of trying to get Dom Brown, an everyday role in their outfield.
Dom Brown, what a name! Where'd you pull that out of?
They trade. Well, listen. So, because they want Dom Brown, it's still highly regarded prospect. They wanted to get him everyday playing time in the major leagues. They weren't contending, so they traded Hunter Pence, and just like kind of for the sake of trading him, they didn't really get a fair return for him, and they got Tommy Joseph back. Fast forward 5 years, Tommy Joseph is a controllable guy who they're trying to trade. Tommy Joseph's like 26. He looks like he's 56.
That's true.
But this is only his second year in the majors.
Oh, really?
But anyway, so fast forward 5 years, they're trying to trade Tommy Joseph to get everyday playing time for a legit prospect. Rhys Hoskins hopefully will be better than Dom Brown. I think he will be. That's just crazy full circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I joined a mock draft while you were talking about that.
Oh, mock with me after we do this. Actually, no, I don't want you to know my strategy because you're picking ahead of me in like the even rounds.
Yeah, I'm always gonna pick in my 5 slot because that's the competitive league. But
true. Then never mind. I still don't want you to know my strategy.
I still don't know what I'm doing at 5. 5's really a bad spot for fantasy owners this year.
Yeah. All right. Are we good? We can finish, right?
Well, I was gonna ask you for your final thoughts. I was gonna go to Nick first because he hasn't been here for a while. I feared he might have something to say that he missed because he missed
Final
a lot.
thoughts.
Well, I've actually talked myself out of canceling the Steelers season this episode, so that's a plus.
That's good.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Are you? And you're not.
Happy
Oh,
birthday,
wait,
Sidney Crosby. What?
Football's back.
That's right. Football's
Football
back.
is not back, you clown.
Oh God.
Football is
I
back.
hate these people. Football's not back. Football's not back for another 4 weeks.
The trip to Green Bay this week. Let's get it.
Nobody's watching these B team scrimmages.
I don't know about that. Wait.
No, one of the best sports environments I've been at was the Eagles' first home preseason game. The Eagles' first preseason game last year. Carson Wentz's professional debut.
It's dumb.
It was a fun game. I was one of my better like fan memories. I was
At a preseason game? I've never even
No. Just like it's a story. It's a story. It's like it's a Rick Pitino stories. Me and our friend Dan. Well, Rick, you should have told that to Rick Pitino. Me and the other kid that were at the other person that was at the game with
Dan Wilson,
our friend Dan Wilson. Yeah, he
close friend of the show.
Close friend. That's why I was laughing at when you said Six Flags. Ray's gone, so I don't know how we're gonna get off the air when we're done.
That's okay.
But he Wentz was in, and so we were like 3 rows from the back of the stadium, and so Wentz made a play, and I'm like getting up cheering in my number 11 Eagles jersey.
The Tebow.
So there's a guy like 4 rows in front of us. He turns around, he sees my jersey, and he starts like applauding for me, like, "Yeah, nice shirt, dude." And then I turned around, and he was astonished.
He was astonished by what?
By the fact that it was a Tebow jersey.
Oh, he was in front of you. Oh,
yeah, he was sitting in front of me.
The Eagles made a lot of money off those Tebow jerseys.
Yeah. As they should.
Anyways.
I had a dream last night. I tried to buy a Tim Tebow Port St. Lucie Mets jersey, and they weren't available.
And then who did you get instead?
Cam Perkins.
I don't think this was a dream. I honestly think this is a story you made up.
No, it was a dream because the guy that it was a weird it was almost like you're walking up. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you walk up to like Patrick Geno's or something, like stick your head into the window and order a cheesesteak. I was like sticking my head into the window to order a jersey, and my CA from my freshman year of college was the guy that was like working. Very, very weird dream. But that was
That's your final thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna close you out on that one.
But no, I got a Cam Perkins jersey instead. And
yeah, I hate you. Gambling. It's a better use of your money. That's all we got this week.
Nick is currently in 20th out of 23rd people in a DraftKings contest right now.
About to mock draft, so we need to get this thing going. All right.
Go.
You're going to want to follow at Berg Bell on Twitter, at Jason Cantor BTB, at BTB, at Ray Dunn BTB. I think that's everyone, right? The intern didn't pop his head in at all during the show, which was pretty impressive on our part.
Wait, the intern did text me that he was so hyped when the Little League team won. So I'll give him a shout out.
Recap coming up on the site tonight.
The obscure players Stump the Schwab coming up. Stump the Cantor.
a few more things that we're going to announce get going soon. Right now, that's it. Thank you all for watching, even
Good
though I
night.
think it's 0.